everyone, welcome back. This is week 43 of my social isolation get ready with me's. Today I'm not going to be using a particular palette. Instead I'm going to do the makeup that I always do on my birthday. My birthday is January 18th, so when you're seeing it, this video, my birthday will have been yesterday. And a few years ago I just started doing this one random look with a bunch of INGLOT shadows, and for whatever reason it became my birthday makeup. So I just want to recreate it on this channel. I think I've done it before, probably like when I first started the channel. But I'm gonna do it again. And if you're curious, I did turn 38 years old. So of course it's going to be a quiet birthday because we're not going anywhere. And I'm gonna be raiding in my retail World of Warcraft guild anyway. Tell you what, there's a lot of raiding going on in WoW lately. I raid basically Sunday through Thursday. So my only nights off are Friday and Saturday. But you know, I mean, I'm still playing the game then anyway. So my favorite place to go on my birthday was always this pub called Bishop and Belcher in Toronto. I love that place, particularly for their fajitas. And it sounds kind of ridiculous to go to like a pub for fajitas, but they're just so wonderful there. Whatever they put in the mixture with the chicken, I always get the chicken, is just freaking phenomenal. And I don't know why I didn't clue into this sooner. I don't know for any reason why I wasn't thinking about it, but of course, Bishop and Belcher are actually offering their like food on Uber Eats, and I'm like, how come I haven't thought of this in like 10 months that I've been home, working from home permanently? I guess you could say permanently now. It's supposed to be temporary, but you know. So I was looking at Uber Eats, I think it was yesterday, and I was like, they have the fajitas on there from my favorite pub. Why haven't I ordered them? So I'm gonna have to rectify that sometime soon. Okay, starting this off with this INGLOT shadow right here. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, and the numbers are behind, and I don't have my magnet to pull the stuff out right now, so I'm gonna have to annotate what the shade numbers are, in editing. But I'm taking that shade first, and I'm gonna put that through my crease. So last year, for my birthday, it was very impromptu actually. I called up a few friends, either the day of my birthday or the day before, and was like, hey, if anybody's free, I want to go to Bishop and Belcher. Come if you want. No presents, because honestly, presents at this age are just ridiculous. We all buy what we need, right? So there's no point people getting us stuff. Come if you can, and you know, we'll just have some, for me, fajitas, some drinks and whatever. And I think like 10 of us managed to like show up, and I was so happy. Like it was such a nice thing to just have like people show up very spontaneously. And it was a really good time. And in hindsight, the timing was quite good because we did that and then, you know, like went into lockdown like 2 months later. So it was a nice kind of get together with all my friends for my birthday at my favorite pub. Kind of wish I'd gotten a picture of all of us, but didn't think to do it in the moment. So this year for my birthday, it looks like I'm going to be doing a video conference call with my family. And if you've been listening to me for a while, you know that I hate video conference calls. My dad emailed me, I don't know, a few days ago, was like, hey, Rachelle, can you set up a conference call for your whole family? I mean, just my immediate family, for Monday at 5 o'clock. And I was like, dang, the one thing I really hate doing. I just don't love them. And I know I'm not the only person in that boat. Said it before, I'll say it again. They're just awkward. Everybody talks at the same time. It doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel, I don't know, it just doesn't feel good. It makes me feel more removed from the people even though I'm talking to them. Okay, for my lid, I'm going to be using this stunning orange shade. Some gold reflect to it too. It is gorgeous. And just whack that all over. Actually, on the note of Uber Eats, I also realized it's another restaurant that I'm a huge fan of. It's a kind of a nerd bar, geek themed restaurant here called Stormcrow Manor. I believe it started in Vancouver, but there's one in Toronto now. And they just have all kinds of food and drinks that are named after like sci-fi series. Like there's a Romulan ale drink. There's all kinds of like Buffy references and stuff, like Star Wars, Star Trek, a whole bunch of things just wrapped into different food names and drink names, which is really cool. And I've always been obsessed with their butterbeer. It's so good. It's so good. And I recently discovered that they actually, on Uber Eats, you can actually order for home delivery their butterbeer kits. And I was like, so I think it's mostly comprised of like not peach schnapps, what am I talking about? Butterscotch schnapps, liquid ice cream or something like that, and some other things. Like, they give you all the components to make it, and the price is actually really good. I feel like normally if you order alcohol on Uber Eats, not that I've ever done it, but it's usually higher price, right? Because you're ordering it from a restaurant where you'd normally pay like $30 to $40 for a bottle of wine, when you could just go buy it at the LCBO for like $10. So I think a butterbeer at the restaurant actually costs about, I want to say $15 maybe, but you can get the whole kit that makes 6 of them for $40. And I was like, well, that's a great deal. So I think I'm gonna have to do that at some point too. Okay, for the outer corner, I'm taking this red. I've mentioned this before, but this is the very first red eyeshadow that I ever owned. This predates like the Modern Renaissance palette by ABH. It was the first red eyeshadow that I ever really knew that was available for purchase. And I picked this shade up. I think I got it in Ireland, actually, because Inglot wasn't readily available in Canada for a long time, and even now, like, that shop in Toronto is gone. They're still available online, but the one at Dundas Square is gone, and I'm like, why? So when I used to go traveling, I would buy all kinds of Inglot eyeshadows in different locations, because they were more readily available in Europe and in New York too, but I always thought it was like a nice thing to like pick up when I was on vacation, because it was a hard to get brand. I see this a lot in my comments too whenever I mention Inglot and use it. People are like, oh, no one talks about them, but like their products are so good. And yeah, I agree. I don't know why people don't use them more. I've been in love with them for years. I probably don't mention them as often as I should on my channel, but you know, we're always trying different things or going back to old products. But yeah, Inglot is just one of those brands that people just don't care about. And I think it's because they're just not flashy. They don't really put a lot of work into marketing and PR. And it's sad because their products are incredible. I love their foundation. I love their eyeshadows, their glitter stuff, like their pigments. It's just all really good. But they don't get enough hype, in my opinion. Or if they did, it was like almost 10 years ago, and now no one talks about them anymore. Okay, for my brow bone highlight shade, I'm just taking my Wet n Wild Brulee shadow. One day I'll finish this thing up. And you guys know the drill here. I'm going to add some winged liner with my Physicians Formula Eye Booster. Okay, moving on to the face. Where did I put my foundation? Oh, here we go. Still using the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation in the shade 51 Light Vanilla. If anybody's curious about Nemo, he's doing very well. He's back to his feisty behavior, so sometimes giving him sub-Q fluids is not very good right now. We had one heck of a fight with him a few days ago, and it was just like, I've never heard hissing and growling from this cat before like that. So he's definitely feeling spirited. That was a bit painful. We finally got the needle into him at like 3 in the morning, which is ridiculous. We discovered that doing it at night works a lot better than doing it during the day, because we were trying during the day before so that we could see it better, right? But he just was never calm enough during the day, so we started doing it at night, usually quite late at night, and it works out. But last time was just, yikes. Poor cat. He's probably tired of being jabbed with a needle every day. But yeah, other than that, he's taken all his medication and whatnot. I'm sure he's due a checkup to recheck his levels, but they haven't told us when yet, so I'm not looking forward to that, because bringing him in is just like, it's traumatizing to him, right? And it takes him a while to go back to normal. And every time I'm like, are you gonna be okay? But it has to be done for his health. Poor guy. Okay, for bronzer, I'm using my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. Nothing special here, just on my temples, backs of my cheekbones, and then lightly along the jawline. Never tire of the scent of this. It's so good. And then for blush, I haven't brought this out in a long time, but I love it. It's the Bobbi Brown Apricot blush. I'm pretty sure they discontinued this color, and I don't know why, because it's delightful. But this used to be talked about quite a bit. I think mostly by, oh man, Essie Button. There we go. Although she didn't change her name. She changed her username to Estee Lalonde, which I haven't watched her in a long time. Huh. I have to go see what she's up to lately. It's funny, you find yourself going in and out of phases with YouTubers, right? Like you watched a certain number of YouTubers, like let's say 10 years ago, and you don't find that you watch them anymore as your tastes change. Not that much on the blush. Just blend it out with my beauty blender. That just made me think of something too. Like, you know how people always say like, oh, you've changed as a YouTuber. I don't think I've ever really gotten that, but people will say it to others. And it's just so ridiculous because yes, people change, but also the viewers change too, right? Like what I liked 10 years ago is not what I watch anymore. I used to watch like Miss Glamorazzi and those twins. They weren't twins, the sisters. Elle and I can't even remember their names now. How weird is that? Elle was All That Glitters 21. What the hell is her sister's name? Anyway, I used to watch Essie Button, like all of these. I used to watch all of these people and I don't watch them anymore. And it's because I've changed too. So I don't think it's that strange when people say like, oh, you've changed. It's like, yeah, haven't we all? And if you didn't change, it'd be a little bit weird. Okay, for highlighter, I honestly never remember what highlighter I use every year, so I'm just gonna change it up. So I'm using the ABH Aurora palette and I'm gonna go in with Lyra here, which looks disastrous because I think I dropped the palette and then had to repress it, and then for whatever reason the alcohol in the product just like made some of the color leach onto the palette. Looks dreadful, but it's a really nice like slightly orange pinky color. I've mentioned this many times, but I hated this palette when I first got it, and then I found myself using it quite a bit over the years. Okay, that's it for the face. I'm going to zoom you back in and we'll finish up the eyes. There's actually not a lot left to do with the eyes, but what I do for the lower lash line is put glitter. So I'm going to be using the Lip Cosmetics California Soul Glitter. It's so pretty. First I'm going to put on my glitter glue. So I'm taking the Too Faced glitter glue. Just put some of that on the back of my hand. That's probably way too much. Then take a little brush, just sort of pull the cat hair off. Dab into it and then just line my lower lash line with the glue first. And I'll let it go a little bit tacky by letting it sit there, and I'll do the other eye before I apply the glitter. And then taking the same brush, doesn't really matter, I'm just tapping into the glitter and then patting it into place. And if I end up with a little bit of glue or glitter in my lashes, I just take one of these like eyelash combs and just start at the bottom and then pull up. Go gently when you're doing this because you don't want to like jab yourself in the eye. Okay, for mascara, I'm going to try a new one. I figured it was time to move on from the Milk Kush mascara. So I'm trying this NYX On The Rise Volume Lift Mascara. I'm eager for this one because I saw the bristle brush. It's a plastic one, I think, and I think it's fatter than I thought it was going to be. I like the small ones. Before I do that, I forgot to put my inner corner highlight on. Just another Inglot shadow here. That was starker than I was expecting. Oops. Okay. Gonna go back into the highlighting palette, take Lyra again, put that on top. All right, let's see how this mascara goes. Big wands don't usually agree with me. Ooh, but I like how it's combing through my lashes with these bristles. It's like really grabbing them and then dragging, which I love that sensation. Okay, not bad. I did like how that came out. I could probably build it up a little bit more, but I'm going to put false lashes on, so really it doesn't matter. For false lashes, I'm putting on my Tarte Center of Attention ones, and I'll put my brows on and I'll be right back. Okay, brows and lashes on. For lips, I always used to use the Benefit, what were they? Like a plush glass kind of thing. It was like a squeezy tube lip gloss, and it was in the shade Coralista, but I long since finished up that tube, so I've always been trying to like use colors that are similar. I was kind of looking at the Astor Feline lip color. It's a lip color butter, and then the Too Faced Sweet Peach in the shade Peach Tease. I think this one tends to lean a little bit too pink, so I'm gonna go with Peach Tease today. I wonder if they still sell these. These were so hyped. How many years ago? Okay, so that is the finished look. This is the look that I do every year for my birthday. I think I've been doing it about 8 or 9 years now. I just really fell in love with the look of this color combination. It just really felt like me. So every year on my birthday, I replicate this exact look, and it just makes me really happy. I just love the glitter with the red and the orange. I love it. So that is gonna be it for this video. Oh, Nemo's coming down. I wonder if I can actually get him in the video. Hi, Nemo. Oh, don't jump down. Dang. We have some cat shelves like literally behind the camera, and he just climbed down but then jumped in. I thought he was gonna come onto my desk. Shoot. Anyway, okay, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you liked the look. Take care, stay safe and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.